ninjas, how are you doing? It's a girl, Owamie, and welcome back to another episode of To Hell and Back. If it's the first time joining us, you must definitely welcome. Please do make sure that you subscribe and obviously hit the bell. I absolutely love you. Now, ninjas, if you'd like to be part of our show, I'm sure there's gonna be a banner here that has good numbers. Send a WhatsApp message, and my PA is gonna get back to you. Now today, ninjas, we are here with the gorgeous. Her name is Mary, but she has a special name, and I want to get it right. Matiakwena.
Yes. Yeah.
How are you?
I'm alright.
Welcome.
Thank you for accepting my story. My name is Matiakwena. I'm from the East Rand. I was actually born in Lesotho, but raised in Benoni. So primary school, high school, yeah, it's been Benoni.
Okay.
That's where my granddad stayed, yeah.
Okay. Oh, that's nice. You know, you look so beautiful, hey? I do have to say. They say, you know, a woman is gorgeous when she can pull the no-hair look. You know, you are so beautiful. And welcome.
Thank you. Oh, I mean, you are beautiful yourself.
Oh, thank you. So, okay, for us to just get into this story, I think we'll just need to get a bit of a background. We understand you are from Lesotho. You said
born.
You were born in Lesotho, but you were raised in Benoni.
Yes.
Can you please just tell us the family setup? You know, were you raised by both your parents, siblings? Yeah.
All right. As I mentioned that I was born in Lesotho. My mom, when she was pregnant with me, that's when she separated with my dad.
Wow.
So she decided that she was going to come to Joburg, obviously to raise her children here in South Africa, because back then in Lesotho, schools were very expensive.
Okay.
And the third child of my mom's. So we decided to come, because my granddad was already, he had already left Lesotho, so he was residing in Benoni.
Okay.
So we came, we joined my granddad, and he was playing that role. He was like playing a father figure role. So we grew up with, you know, it was like a setup of both parents, because our granddad was playing that role of being a father, and obviously our mother being there also. So primary school, high school with my siblings. So that my mom got another one who comes after me. So there's actually 4 of us.
Okay.
Yeah, so we grew up together in Benoni until such a time that we are now grown up, and then we had to, you know, separate because of marriages and other things.
Yeah.
Yes.
But then with your dad, did you have a relationship with him?
Well, with my dad, I think I was in a quest, obviously, of meeting him.
Okay.
Because we were raised by my granddad, and he played that role very well, that we didn't even feel a gap. You know, I think, all of us with my siblings, we never missed that part of having a dad.
Yeah.
But when I was a bit older, and my mom was then late.
Okay.
Because my mom passed on. Thank you. When I was about 17.
Oh.
So and at that time I thought to myself, you know what, I've never had my mom bad-mouthing my dad, or you know, she just said to us that, you know, things never worked out between the two of us. So I decided that let me just get out of the relationship. So I took it upon myself that I was gonna go on a hunt to find this man. So I went to Lesotho. That's where I met my dad for the first time in 2017.
Wow. How old were you at that time when you saw him for the first time?
I was around 22. Yeah, 22.
Wow. How was that feeling though?
Oh my goodness. It was, oh wow. When I met my dad, actually I went to his mother's house, where I met my grandmother for the first time.
Yeah.
And well, I noticed, you know, I was a bit grown. I noticed that because she never liked my mom, obviously she was not keen meeting me. She was not happy seeing me there. And I was very sad, because I mean, I prepared for this trip, you know, that I want to go home. I want to meet all the family members, other siblings. But anyways, I happened to meet with my dad, of which when we went to his house, when he just came out of the yard, I saw someone who resembles me in everything. I mean, the height, because my mom is very tall and my dad is short. So I was like, okay, the looks, I mean, the face, it was like seeing my twin.
Yeah.
So I was so excited. I was so excited meeting him.
And how was he though?
Yeah, first time laying his hands, his eyes on me. I remember him calling my name, and he's like, "Oh, my daughter, you grown up."
Wow.
Because when we left, I was about 2 when we left. Because I went to stay with my grandma, so I was very young when we left. But he could recognize me, and that made me feel.
Maybe he also was seeing his twin. Like he saw you, and he was like, "Damn, like she is like I don't even need to ask any questions." That's so beautiful. Though, like your family, they other than the grandmothers, because usually the grandmothers have a problem, but like the rest of the family, did they embrace you? Did you go also with your siblings? Do you guys have a relationship now with your dad?
Okay, I happened to meet my siblings, my beautiful siblings from my father's side. Obviously, my father is a polygamous man, so there were other 2 women before my mom's.
Okay.
So I've got all the siblings from him. I think about 5 of them. They are beautiful people. I mean, they welcomed us. You know, the other siblings that we grew up in Johannesburg. They welcomed us with warm hearts. But then, to me, I was kind of jealous about, that they got a chance to grow up with my dad. That maybe they had a better, upbringing. And obviously the relationship, they had a better relationship with my dad. But sitting down with them, getting to understand that, even though they grew up with my dad around them, but it wasn't as good, as fabulous as I had thought. Maybe they enjoyed. So yeah, we good. We in good terms with my siblings. All of us, we do visit, we do talk. Unfortunately, my dad is also late.
Oh, I'm so
we buried him in 2021 December. Yeah.
Oh, but at least you got to meet him before.
I got to meet him before. Yes.
Yeah. Okay. No, that's fine. I think we've gotten. Do you have any kids? If you do, how many? Okay.
Oh yes, I'm a mom.
Okay.
I'm a proud mom of 5.
Okay.
3 of my own and 2 that I volunteered. That I'll take care of them. Come rain, come shine.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Wow.
So yeah.
Okay. Well, I guess we're still going to get into that. But today you wrote to us. Please share. What story do you want to share with us?
All right. Yeah, writing to you, I'm in a position whereby I'm thinking that society has got a lot of expectations, from us as people. We are putting so much boundaries that at the end of the day, those boundaries are the ones that actually causes us so much pain than they're supposed to heal. Because we grew up being told that keep it to yourself.
Yeah.
Keep it in. This is, family business.
Secrets,
yeah. Why should we open up? Even in marriages, I mean, that's what you are told, Mosadu tshwara thipa, and just keep it to yourself, don't go around hanging your dirty laundries. But I've noticed that when we don't speak out, that's where we are actually breaking. But once we want healing, it comes with voicing out.
Yeah.
It comes with talking. It comes with sharing all these stories. And that obviously is going to help our youngsters. Those who are coming, they shouldn't first-hand experience everything. I mean, other things they can learn from people who traveled that road before. So, yeah, I had thought that let me come out and share my story since I think it could help someone else out there. Or it could help, obviously, my daughters as well, because I don't wish for them to travel the same journeys or to repeat the same mistakes. I just want to end circles.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. No, please tell us exactly from the beginning what happened.
All right. Even though my story is long.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'll try to cut it in short.
Don't worry. In the studio. We own the studio here.
Alrighty.
We're not on studio time. Your story as is.
Yeah. Like I've spoken about my upbringing, that I was raised by, my granddad, a beautiful man, may his soul rest in peace. He was a loving dad. So we grew up, not in a rich family, but we were comfortable. I mean, we were happy. In our poverty, we were surviving because there was so much love. I mean, we were surrounded with so much love. I remember my granddad used to cook for us.
Wow.
We would play cards. We would sleep very late at night. And, growing up, obviously, we're different as siblings. We will never be the same.
Yeah.
And I happened to be the black sheep of the family.
Okay.
I happen to be the inquisitive child, always asking questions, like those deep questions.
Yeah.
And I was not afraid to express myself. And for my siblings, because I've got very reserved siblings, my siblings are very quiet, you know. So for them, it was as if, all right, what's wrong with this one?
Yeah, Papa, this one.
Yeah, you know what? I grew up being called Umaqinas.
Okay.
You know, but yeah, this one, you know, hard-headed, you know, stubborn, everyone, she's got answers.
Okay.
So yeah, I was that bubbly child, outgoing. I enjoyed going to the streets, playing with my friends, whereas with my siblings, they were always indoors.
Okay.
You know? And yeah, my mom being, you know, a very loving woman as well, a very open woman for that matter, because she understood me, you know. She could actually give me my space because she could see that this one, she's different from the rest of my kids. But I am glad that she, you know what, she gave me that space to just be me, you know. She was never, you know, trying to turn me into something that I was not, but she accommodated me and she would give me answers as to whatever questions I would want to know at times.
Wow.
So yeah, growing up was beautiful. You know, I grew up in Wardville.
Wow.
It's a small location, you know, filled with soccer stars, a lot of them. It was a beautiful place growing up. I mean, in Wardville, you know, I was like any other kid. You know, I played in the streets. I had friends and started growing up. But obviously, like I said, that I was that inquisitive child. I was this child who was always constantly wanting to make peace.
Okay.
You know, in the family, I wouldn't want to see anyone sad. Or if there were quarrels, I want to be the mediator. I want to be the middleman who solved the problem. So I grew up as that child, you know, even around my friends, I was that child, the mother of the group.
Yeah.
So growing up, you know, obviously my mom passed on when I was still in high school. Then I think that's when life changed for us, you know, for me, for my siblings, because now it was like the person that we depended on was no more. And at that time, my mother had to fetch my uncles because when we were staying with my granddad, my uncles were still in Lesotho.
Okay.
So I remember my mom making arrangements to, you know, to fetch them so that they can bury the dead, because my granddad did mention that he doesn't want to go back to Lesotho.
Okay. So who passed first between your mom and your grandfather?
Our grandfather.
Your grandfather passed.
Yes.
So when your mom passed, basically you guys didn't have an adult from the people that raised you, basically.
Yeah, from the people that raised us, yeah. Because my granddad passed when I was still in primary school. I think I was about 14 or 13 years. So my mom obviously arranged that, you know what, because my granddad didn't want to go to Lesotho. He didn't want to even get buried there. He was like, should I die? Can I be buried here in Joburg? Because Lesotho, you know, he had to fled some wars because we are from the royal family.
Oh, yeah.
And
yeah, I know that. The royal wars and whatever.
Exactly.
Okay.
So he was fleeing from that and he was like, I'm done. I don't want to set my foot back there. So he wanted even for us never to go back home in Lesotho.
Okay.
So at that time, my mom managed to get my uncles to come and bury their dead. Unfortunately, right after my dad's funeral, yeah, a lot changed because that was when my uncles were fighting with my mom
for the house,
obviously.
Oh gosh, I don't know why people do that. Hey,
yeah, Lefa, black people. So yeah, I mean, yeah, my mom was in a warfare with her siblings, and I remember very well that because my granddad, he was the type of a person who he never thought that, you know what, he was gonna pass that sudden. You know, he was a sickly person, but he's very strong. He had that, you know, strong character. He wouldn't show that he's actually sick. So he usually just voice it out. You know, Mdomdala, when he will just say, I want my house to belong to so and so.
Yeah.
Because at that time he would tell my mom straight that, no, I want my house to be our brother. Her first child, like because he's my son, because my mother actually got my brother out of wedlock. So in Sesotho, as a lady, if you are still staying with your parents, should it happen that you get a child out of wedlock, that child
belongs to them. Yeah. And mostly they're like, I don't know if they say that as well, but your firstborn belonged to your parents. to the parents,
To
like
the
yeah,
parents,
it's
exactly.
the grandchildren's
Yeah,
child.
yes, because with my mom it was that case. So my granddad used to say, "This is my last born by Sisutu." Mula wa Sesotho. He is actually the last born. So he was like, "I'm a last born. They normally are the ones who are taking over should the owner of the house pass on." So he didn't put it in writing, however. So in that quarrel, my mom tried to raise that, but it got out of hand. That now, we started experiencing a lot of deaths. That it was like now the umbango of the house, it's now getting that deep, that serious, that you know what, anything could happen, and anything was happening. So my mom later passed. Well, I remember when my mom was very sick, me and my younger sister, because I have a younger sister, I'm about 4 years older than her. We used to visit my mom in hospital. I remember this at a time after we've left. She just told us that bring me nice things tomorrow when you are coming. You know, bring me fruits, bring me snacks, and we were excited that she was finally, eventually getting better.
Yeah.
And the next day we went to the hospital, just the two of us, because my brother was working difficult shifts at the petrol station.
Okay.
So we went to the hospital with my younger sister. Upon our arrival, we could see, the faces of the nurses that, they were not happy to see us, especially just we were small at that time. I mean, I was about I was about 16, turning 17, and my sister was very young, like 8. And then I remember when we got there and they said to us, "Your mom, we've moved your mom to another room." And we were like, but she looked as if she was recovering. Why was she moved? Like, no, there were complications. And they had to set us down. They asked, where are the elders? Why are you always coming alone as children? I remember trying to give them my uncle's cell phones. In those days, cell phones were not as popular as they are now. So I remember just trying to give them a number to call. They were like, no, we can't get through to anyone on this number, but we have to talk. So they maybe the person that it was maybe a therapist or something, but they managed to find someone who could sit us down and obviously break the sad news that, you know what, your mom is no more. Yo, that was, my world I was in another state because, that was my best friend.
I'm so sorry for your loss.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And fast forward, we came back. My uncles weren't interested. I mean, they were not even sad about
because they were fighting
the whole
now,
story.
isn't it, about the house?
Because I remember when he came with my little sister, and then we were like, our mom is no more. They were like, oh, so what should we do? What should we do?
Yeah. And that's their blood sister.
The pain at the hospital was not as severe as the pain from their response. But anyways, I understood that maybe they were fighting, their enemy's gone. Fine. Sure. I mean, we went to the church, we explained, and the church was like, no, don't worry, we will assist you. So the church was assisting us with everything. Everything about the burial, the church came through for us. And then, we buried our mom. And at that time, luckily, the church was also there, to take care of us.
Wow.
So my siblings and I were raised by the church.
But then now with the house, because there were disputes, when your mother passed, you guys were still in the house that you grew up in.
Yes.
And then after she passed, did your uncles not try to push you guys out?
I mean, they tried because at that time we had to explain to the church members. So, the father came to our house, to just, speak with them, to try to find common grounds and, to reason with them that they are still kids, just let them be, let them at least finish their studies and then, take it from there. So, that's what basically happened. And the church came through for us, groceries, funds for all our needs. They were taking care of us, and obviously social workers. Social workers, they had to interview my brother and started assisting us with the grants, with a lot of things. I mean, we grew up. We grew up. We had to take it in. It wasn't easy because even, I think at that time in my life, I was still that child who didn't understand a lot. You know, so because someone who was teaching us was no more now. My uncles were just living their lives, you know.
Were they living with you guys in the house?
They never moved from the house.
So, okay, so, ever since they came after your grandfather passed, they never moved. Did they come in with their partners and their kids? Whew.
They actually went married then.
Okay.
So, meaning now they found girlfriends in Joburg.
Yeah, so the girlfriends would also come now.
And they're excited because remember, girls from Joburg, they're not as like girls from Lesotho. They're not playing that hard as girls from Lesotho. So they were excited, my uncles, to come to Joburg. And girls, they just easy to get, you know. They will even bring like high scholars in the house. You see, so they were living their lives. They didn't care about us, you know. They didn't care. Eating the food that we came with from the church, you know, the church helping to pay the lights. They didn't care. Life continued up until we were a bit grown, man. I think when I was about 19, I scored a government job.
Okay.
And I said to myself, before then, my elder sister, the one who comes just after my brother, and then I come after her. You know what? She could fall pregnant, and it was time that they came to lobola her. I remember my uncles rejecting. They didn't want they didn't want anything to do with the lobola negotiation. They were not present for negotiations. They were like, no, we're not going.
So your brother had to then step in.
Yeah, my brother had to now step in, find another relative.
Yeah, that is
yeah,
older.
And then try to beg that relative, because the relative didn't want to take sides.
Yeah.
They felt as if, you know, they don't want to be too much.
Then we're fighting with their uncles.
But
wow.
yeah, they had to.
Yeah,
strangers had to come and
wow.
take the lobola for my sister. And yeah, we're happy for her that at least, you know, she's now secured with the child.
Yeah.
And yeah, I started working and I was renovating the house. I remember my brother sat me down and he said to me, my sister, you are still young. You know, I can see that you've got that. You've got the mother in you. You've got that motherly hole in you. You want to take care of us. You want to take care of the rest of the home, but please don't. And at the time, I didn't understand where he was coming from, because when he said, please don't, I thought to myself, no, I'll be wasting money. Since I've started working and at least it's not that bad, the pay is not that bad, let me at least invest back in the home. Because at that time, our home looked like... it was horrible. I mean, we had a door that was eaten by rats. Yeah. It had holes in it. Everything was a mess. You know, we didn't have lights, because when you don't pay water, they come and cut even the lights. You know, it was a mess. You know, the furniture, everything was broken in that house. So I felt that it's going to be right just to honor my granddad in, you know, renovating the home. And after doing that, all hell break loose. Because now my uncles felt as if I just embarrassed them. They felt as if I was just a child who gave me the right or the permission to do that, to renovate the house, to buy furniture and stuff. And yeah, that's when now the war started. Now, when they look at me, they could literally see my mom. And it was.
Were you also fighting back at this point?
You know, luckily we grew up as very respectful kids. You know, me and my siblings. Only my younger sister was a bit tempered. She was a bit tempered, but only when you've done something to her. But we grew up respecting, because I remember in all the struggles, I used to tell my younger sister, don't raise your voice when you're talking to the uncles. Yes, they might be doing so much wrong, but we must remember that they are still adults. You know, we should respect them.
I don't really believe in that, though. But I'm a very respectful person. Yeah. Like, I'm very respectful. Everybody knows that.
Yeah.
But be someone that respects yourself. Because if you disrespect yourself, I will show you a different level of disrespect. Because why should I respect if you don't respect yourself? Yes, I think also it just depends. Like, okay, there are certain people that you say that this is an adult. I will walk away if obviously like I don't have to deal with you on a day-to-day. But if I have to deal with you on a day-to-day, then I need to show you there is a line and you do not cross on the other side. Because me now saying, no, I'm gonna be respectful, and you keep disrespecting yourself, for me guys, I don't know, then they will call me disrespectful, then that's fine. So maybe I'm a bit like your younger sister, because no,
my younger sister couldn't take it because she didn't understand why should we clean the house. We are cleaning the house, we are doing everything. They hardly buy food, they hardly buy bread. Even my aunt would come to visit from Lesotho. Whenever she gets home, we must worry about what she eats for breakfast, lunch, supper. And she didn't give a damn. She didn't care. She would even tell us in our face that I came here to visit my brothers. So who are you? You know,
but at no point did you think, okay, maybe let's just buy our own space and build our own small house? Or do you feel like maybe you had a bit more attachment because that was the home you grew up in?
No, at that time I remember I sat my uncles down because there was a quarrel about the house because my uncle happened to find an R2P, so he moved out of the house. And the other uncle also find a place where he could rent. So at that time we thought, okay, fine. At least now maybe they've came to their senses. At least now they are understanding that they have to give us a chance to grow. Because we did tell them that we will leave the house. I mean, we're not there to stay. We're just there to shape ourselves to grow. I mean, to get the power, to get the strength, to move out. So I remember there was a time whereby we were in a quarrel because my other uncle locked the room, the inside room. So a year passed by, the room is still locked. I went to him and I was like, you should open the room in the house because why is it locked? We have to clean that room. I mean, spiders are creeping from that room. Even through the windows, we can see there's so much dust in that room. So don't lock the room. We will clean it whenever you come to visit. The room will be open for you. But he thought that I was being too forward. And then we went to court. And I remember there was a guy in Benoni court who said, Umhlegazi, he was a very strict man. I mean, he reprimanded my uncles. He told them that they should go. Because he told them, say that, no, you should go back to Lesotho actually. Actually, we're just making you a favor that you are here without, proper
documentation.
You must go. Leave these kids to grow in their grandfather's house. He's the one who welcomed them. He's the one who was staying with them. Why now should you come and lock doors? See, he actually gave them about 7 days. Like after 7 days eviction, if they don't open the door and clearly leave the house, they must come there as visitors, as people who come to their home, not to fight, not to cause any disrupt. So at that time, I felt bad. I felt bad because, it came as if now I was fighting them, as if I was challenging them. So we sat down and I was, no, uncle, you have to understand that this is the situation whereby we just need to open all rooms so we can clean the house. But then, fast forward, I was now the enemy. And he thought that they should come after me.
Wow.
Yeah. So as a child, I grew up with, experiencing a lot of attacks. When I was growing up, to just explain briefly, I grew up as a child who, I understood there was something about me because I could see things, like I could see things, in the spiritual. I could sense people's energies. Someone would come to our house, and when they leave, I would tell the person who was here 1 2 1 2 1 2. And they used to ask me, how do you know that? Because maybe like I would be speaking out to someone who knows the person, and they're like, how do you know? Because you are right about this person. And at the time, it's my first time seeing the person. So I grew up as that child who was a seer. I would see things, but I didn't understand. Yeah, so that's how we grew up. And now I was faced with a lot of attacks, I was faced with a lot of attacks because my uncles believed that I took from my mom.
She took after her mother. But did they leave? Did they leave the country?
They didn't because I decided not to go back to the court.
Okay.
Because remember when the court said to me after 7 days, should they not move out, I must go back to the court.
So after 7 days, they moved out?
No, they didn't actually. Because I was now afraid. I was now afraid because there were threats and, I didn't want to be, in the wrong side.
But now, my question is, you had an older brother.
Yes.
Would your older brother not fight for you guys?
Whew. Yeah, my elder brother was very busy because he was working piece jobs, garages, church, gardens, and he was a very reserved somebody.
See, that's the part.
Was quiet.
You see, you see that part right there. Quiet. That's the part where I say, firstborns, they need a little bit of buchajarach in them. Like, I'm telling you the truth, like to be a firstborn, you have certain responsibilities, because I look at it as being a firstborn myself. As much as like I was still very young, like I started protecting my siblings from a very young age. To learn how to stand up to people, it would be because I'm standing up for my siblings. It wouldn't really be for me, By the time I got to learn to stand up for myself, it was because I'd been doing it for my siblings. So you could do something to me, but you couldn't do that to my younger ones. Like, you understand? So, man, no, I understand.
Yeah, no, he was so reserved, and every time they would talk about us, the girls, because now, my sister, the first one, was out now, staying with the in-laws, and I was left with the younger one. So at that time, they would complain too much about myself and the younger one, that we are chacharach, we are the one that are causing the disrupts in the house. We want to tell them what to do. We are stubborn kids. We like our mom. So my brother, they would always exclude my brother, like, that one is a very good boy. He's a very good boy.
Yeah, because it's not giving them any challenging,
Exactly.
Yeah.
Up until one time now, my brother was fed up. There comes a time where a quiet person, when they get fed up, they really, really, get fed up. So there was a time where they decided that now, because I was working, I was now changing so much in the family that they were not happy about that, because they said people are laughing at them, that they are there as the male children, as the ones who are actually the siblings from that house, and they're not doing as much as I am doing. And I remember my uncles were very pissed, But there was actually one who came back and said, you know what, I want to make amends with you children. I've seen my wrongs now. I've noticed that we've been so wrong to you. Hey, Owamie, unfortunately, when we thought there was a light finally, eventually, because he's the elder uncle, that one. We thought he's actually he comes after my mom.
Okay.
He wanted to make amends with us. He wanted to, but unfortunately, after the meeting, because now he called everybody. So we thought now things were going to change, because at least there's someone who reasons, there's someone who wants peace eventually in the family. Unfortunately, the very same week, just 4 days after the meeting, he got sick. From what? From hiccup. He had a non-stop hiccup for like 3 days. He came back home. We tried nursing him. He passed on.
But at least he repented before he passed. Maybe you could feel it that he's going and he wanted to right his wrongs. Which again, now I feel like it now presents a problem of the fact that, like, what you've been wanting your whole life, now you have it, but it's so short-lived.
Yeah. No, yeah, it was difficult, because now, obviously from the meeting he had prior, the other two were not happy, with my aunt. The 3 were not happy that how can now he comes, and they now thought as if he was siding with us.
Oh, like he betrayed them.
You are siding with these ones now.
And I'm so sorry, because anyway, everyone will always think of stereotypicals, but I've heard a lot of stories about people from Lesotho and using muti. It's true, ne?
It's true. My granddad would say that a lot. So he would say it, Boloi, even in the family, hence he didn't even want us to go back to Lesotho.
Yeah.
Because it says, there would be something
that they put on you.
So he would, he didn't like it. So,
So now your uncle passes, when he's now getting buried, are the other uncles and the aunt also there?
Yes, they are there. We buried him. Unfortunately, that one was married. The wife was still in Lesotho and the kids are still in Lesotho, but they couldn't come. My other uncles didn't tell them. They didn't tell them.
So they didn't know that their father and their husband is dead?
They didn't know.
So he got buried without them knowing? And when they found out?
Who? No, that story is very sad, because when they find out now another rumor, meaning my uncle, because the last born and my aunt, they are actually twins.
Okay.
So they are so close. They love one another, like, yeah. So when they now broke the news to my uncle's wife and kids, the story was now difficult, because the story was now causing more wars, because they said we are responsible for it. They said we are fighting for the house. We are trying so hard. We are using muti on them. We want to kill all of them, and we killed their father. Even today, my uncle's kids, that's the story they know. Until I met the elder one, I spoke to him, and I was so very sad. I was sad to hear the story. That after everything that had happened, this is what you know. But I had to narrate the correct, version of the story, that, no, this is what actually happened, and your dad actually came back and apologized, and we were happy about that. It's just unfortunate that now some thought he was siding with us, and we don't know what happened, because it was hiccup. The next thing, he's gone. You see? So now for them to now paint us as the killers, it was shocking. Because visiting Lesotho became another story now. Because when you get to Lesotho, everybody will be looking at you like,
like Kibabaloi, the real witches.
Kanti in Joburg, young witches, what, killing family. To make the matters worse, the elder uncle, hey, at that time, okay, I remember I now found a boyfriend, saying found a boyfriend, and because the situation at home wasn't that favorable, I thought to myself, maybe it's time that I find my own place. I also move so I can take the last born, move in with her. So when I met this guy, I thought to myself, you know what, maybe this is the opportunity that I get to raise my own family. Because I love big families. Like, I've got the heart for family. So I thought, maybe it's not about my uncle, it's about time. Maybe I'm not looking at the times that I was almost 23 at that time. So I thought,
I'm old enough.
Let me just start my own family. And I remember I started dating, so some weekends I would be at the boyfriend's house. I remember that this other time, there were mutis around my brother's room. And my sister, because my sister, the last born, the youngest, she's very energetic. She's very active. She wakes up 4 a.m. every day. Every day she cleans the yard. So that was her routine, that she wakes up and cleans the yard. So this other weekend, I was not at home. She woke up. As she was doing her normal routine, sweeping the yard, she started noticing some mutis. And some neighbor called her and she said, you know what, there's something I want to confess. I've been seeing your uncle, busy with the muti around your brother's room, by the windows there, what's happening? You people should be careful.
But was it the time that your brother had now also had enough?
Yeah.
So when he had enough, what did he do? Did
he confronted them? Yes, he did. He confronted them just after the funeral of this other uncle, the one who came back and asked for apology. So I remember my brother bursting out. Because that was a time they said that, we are disrespectful, we even disrespect our own brother. That was when he said, no, let me get the story straight. I've been quiet for so many years, I'm sick and tired of it. What you people did to my mom, I'll never forgive you. So now they saw the other side of my brother that they didn't know, because they thought they could just...
All of a sudden he's a bad person. That's one thing that people do. When you are somebody that is agreeable, how everyone loves you. Exactly. The moment you have that one, you don't know how she is. Just know this person challenges these people.
Exactly. Yeah, because he even told my aunt that, you know what, I trusted you. I thought you'd be our mom. My mom loved you so much. Why every time I would tell you this is what the uncles are doing? Because I thought maybe because they were males, they were just out of order because there was no one reprimanding them or helping them see the damage. But she would tell my brother that, I'm here to visit my twin. I don't care about your people's stories. So she didn't want to be a peacemaker. She didn't want to be the middleman. So my brother, faced everyone, and he told everyone their news one by one. This is what you did. This is what you did. I'm not happy with one. I'm not happy with two. So now he was also seen as a bad guy now. But, this one is now clever now.
Okay,
The girls... The girls have waken him up. Now they thought that we had some sort of influence on him. And at that time, like I said, that I now had a boyfriend after, I was visiting my boyfriend, and my sister called. Hey, I have an issue here. And the neighbor just told me that our elder uncle is busy with some muti around. And we do see this muti, man. We do see there are things here, but we don't understand what's happening because we've never caught him red-handed. And I was worried. I was like, why? Why would they do something like this? Why do they keep coming after us? Because even with my brother, he told them after that meeting when he opened up to everybody, he mentioned that we are all going to leave the house. We don't care that this is our granddad's wish, especially for my brother, because my granddad knew that we are going to go out as girls. But he did said to my brother he shouldn't leave the house. But my brother was now fed up. He was like, I'm going to leave this house. I know the wish of my granddad was that I stay, I remain, I take care of this home and open the doors for every other family member who's in need. But now I can't take it anymore. As soon as I get a proper job, I'm leaving this house. So at that time, my sister called and I came and investigated what's happening. Now there's muti. At that time, I don't know what to do. If they are using muti, what if my brother dies, Because also my brother has a gift. He sees. He sees also. He sees. So me and him would share our dreams. We understood each other. That, we see stuff and they happen. Every time we dream about something, it would happen. So he started seeing things and we would share. And then I said, no. My younger sister said the neighbor said this and this is what they saw. So we didn't know what to do. So I remember I called this one prophet at the church that I usually visited. And then I said, this is the situation. They said, okay, just pray over water. Take tap water, pray over water, and then just sprinkle it around your brother's room. I did that. And I remember that it was a weekend, so I went back to my boyfriend's house. And my sister calls early in the morning around 4:30, because she normally wakes up at 4. 4:30, she calls, sister, you have to come as in now. Like, hey, I don't have a car now, how can I come home now? What's happening? She's crying uncontrollably, like, come home now, you have to come now. I'm all alone, I don't know what to do with this situation. Our brother, he was still working those odd hours at the garage, so he was not home. Please come. So I tried, organizing transport, and then I came. Upon my arrival, I couldn't believe my eyes. My uncle, the elder one, just laying on the floor. This guy, he was like a tall guy, very buffed up. He was like a Nigerian guy. He had a beautiful body, my uncle. He's laying on the floor, like my sister said, I tried waking him up. He's not waking up. She said, when I woke up trying to go and do my normal chores outside, I found him just lying on the ground. I tried sprinkling water on him, but I could see that he's not responsive. Calling him is not responsive. Hey, bo, you know what? He's normal. The neighbors coming, everybody coming. And now we had to call the other uncles, the twins. So my uncle at that time, he had a wife at that time. The wife who lived with us before,
briefly,
and she was horrible because they already told the stories.
Okay.
And when she came with an attitude to say, this one's they're not gonna do that with me. And at that time, we tried so much because we were happy to see a woman after such a long time.
I'm sure you were hoping, or at least this one will bring peace.
We were, but unfortunately. So when they came in, I remember they were looking at me. They kept giving me that look, that horrible look. And anyways, okay, fast forward, my uncle was buried. And at that time, I'm like, 2 years doesn't pass, hardly 2 years.
Without you guys having to go to the graveyard.
And now even the neighbors, they're like talking. People are now talking. Hey,
yeah, it has something.
So even telling their kids not to come play by us. We had that nickname, Koditupu.
Wait, how many people had passed in that house? Your uncle?
Because it was my granddad, my mom, the one who comes after my mom, and then now the this one. Yeah. Hi, before then, even my other sibling, okay, that one, she was still small, about 8 months.
Okay.
So everyone, yeah, it was horrible. At that time, I remember I wanted to sit my uncles down. I did that. Can we work things out? Don't you see, good to now? How many people must we bear until we make peace? How many people must we bear until we make peace? They're like, no, you are the one. I'm the one. Yeah, you are the one. Like when you are prayerful. How? When did prayer start killing people?
Yeah, is it prayers? Now I feel like the way I'm so stoked, I would have actually said, you see, I finished the others. If you guys stay here, we'll finish you.
Oh, what?
No, I'm being honest. I would have been like, I can see you people don't listen. I've shown you twice, but you don't listen. If you don't live here, I'm gonna finish. They're gonna run, cause you know.
Yo, at that time, Vele, he was now a victim. Yeah, which means I'm next. Which means I'm next. Me, I will show you.
Oh,
me, you won't do it with me, girl. I'll show you. And at that time, you know, I was mourning my uncle, didn't take him serious. I was very sad about what was happening in the family. My siblings were sad. Fast forward, my uncle now came with the witch doctors from Lesotho.
hi, Bo.
You know those ones Aba says in Tabin, Bama Koma Hahe. She came with those.
Wait, who, your uncle or your aunt?
My uncle and my aunt.
Oh, both
they
of them.
organized.
Oh, that one person.
Scheme, yes.
Yeah.
I remember that day I came from work, and during that week, man, I was very tired, and you know what, constantly wanting to leave work, and I didn't know why. All of a sudden, I want to leave work, but I've got my younger sister to take care of. You know, I've got bills to pay since I took furnitures, and I got bills to pay. But there's this thing that says leave this work. I'm like, no, man. And that day I came back from work and I wasn't at ease. You know, I wasn't at ease, man. I was like, no, something is happening here. And I told my younger sister that something is going to happen. She's like, what? I'm like, you know, normally I see things when I'm sleeping, when I'm dreaming, but now I'm seeing visions. Like I'll be sitting and I was seeing these people. I was seeing this, these witch doctors with you know how even they dress, their dress codes.
They dress like in Nigerian movies, like in the bushes, those ones that even draw stuff
have
and
even those feathers. They have even. I kept seeing them. Like I kept seeing these people around the house. And I told my sister that we have to go now quickly to the shop. Let's get a candle and let's lock. We lock the gates. We locked the gates. We locked the house. And I was like, let's push the finishers against the doors. Push the. At the time, I'm like, what am I doing? I'm asking myself, what am I doing? But you know what? The fear in me kept pounding. I could see something is coming, but I didn't understand what. Within 30 minutes, they were there. They break the gate. My uncle broke the gate. They were inside. They were pushing the doors. They broke the doors. They pushed and pushed. I remember telling my sister, let's run to the bedroom. We'll push their wardrobe because my mom bought those heavy wardrobes. So we didn't. They were still intact. They were still good. So we pushed those wardrobes, the thick ones, against our bedroom.
But you're not screaming.
We are. And time we trying to call my brother.
Neighbors come get tupung there and also not gonna
exactly, because he told them that Yena is going to protect himself.
How?
You know, against
you guys.
You see, so at that time the Sangomas are in their house, whoever they were, they are busy calling our names. They are digging every corner of the house, putting their spells. But the name that is called loudly, it's my name.
It's yours.
They're like, this one, we're going to deal with her. She's going to go mad. We're going to give her spiritual aids.
They were saying that.
They were like, this one, she's our match, this one. We're going to get her. Yo, I remember that time. I was crying for my sister more than for myself. I was like, yo, if I could protect my sister, I would do anything. My brother at the time, I had to tell him, eventually found him on the phone. This is the situation. You have to come home now. Unfortunately, he couldn't. Then I had to call the police. Like, I'm calling the police. The police came. Because now they were banning these things. I didn't understand what was happening. Are they going to ban us inside the house? What's going to happen? Because the windows have got butlers. We can't escape from the windows. So yeah, the police came, and at that time I called this other relative, this uncle relative, who was there representing my sister on the Lobola negotiations. He also came. The police got there quicker, and then they wanted to know what's happened. So once we had the siren, that's when we were relieved that finally there's help for us. There's aid. We came out. And the police wanted to know what's happening. And I had to narrate the story that we don't understand because my uncle 1 minute he stays with us, the other minute he's got his own RDP. We don't understand what's happening. Now he called people, they broke in. They didn't inform us that they are bringing people so that it's a family thing. It's their thing, and they are calling our names. They are banning things because the police could see that it's breaking in, like the doors, from the gates. So the police were like, yeah, even we can see that there are things being banned here. So this is life-threatening. We are arresting. Oh, the police were arresting people. I was happy.
Who was arrested? The twins?
They're arresting my uncle. They're arresting the Sangomas.
Yeah, okay.
So at that time...
How many Sangomas were there?
Two.
Okay.
At that time, I'm thinking to myself, at least now, you know what, yeah, these people, they're getting what they deserve. My uncle came, the relative one. And then he was like, you called me. Yeah, this is the situation. But the police, likely they here. They are arresting everyone who came to cause all these disruptions. I remember, he was like, he spoke with the police. He was like, police, no, this is a family matter. Because with him, it was always the case that he doesn't want to pick sides.
But you know what, and I'm going to say this today. If you are watching, because for some people, it's difficult to say, you are not a good person by keeping the peace, even though you can see someone is getting wronged.
Exactly.
So, they say that if you say, I don't pick sides in the presence of oppression, then you have automatically chosen the oppressor's side. So you are not that good aunt, you're not that good uncle that wants to be neutral. Even when you see that things are wrong, you don't want to call out the wrong person. So I just wanted to say and tell you, and I'll hold your hand when I say this, you are a horrible person. Change.
Yeah. Oh, well, yeah. They didn't do the arrest anymore now. Because now he was speaking within Afrikaans, and I couldn't understand other things he was saying because they were whites, they were African police, and they were serious, those guys. They were like already having people arresting, but he spoke in Afrikaans with them, telling them it's a family matter. Can we just have a meeting and find out what is the cause? Maybe there might be a reason because we are Africans, we normally do these things. But the police were like, no, it's a break-in.
Yeah.
And the lives of the minors were endangered here because there were things being burned in the house. What if the whole house burned down?
Exactly.
And there are kids inside the house. But unfortunately, they said, okay, it's fine. As the elder uncle is here, he will meditate the peace. And they left. We were left with the
Sangomas now. So what do you say to them?
They came to my face. I remember they kept pointing at me. Yeah, we're not clever. We're going to deal with you. They were telling me all this crazy things. This is what we're gonna do to you. We're gonna give you spiritual aids. We're gonna make you mad. We're gonna make boys that will come to you and use you and leave you. This and this. You are the one who's forward. We can see if it's you. At that time, I don't know where did I get the courage from. I remember speaking back. And it's only now that I realized that I did a right thing by speaking against what they were telling me.
Yes, because 1,000%. When someone says bad, say the opposite.
Exactly. I said the opposite. I was like, you don't own my life. I didn't pay you. I didn't call you. You'll do nothing to me. You'll do nothing. There was that thing. And then my uncle felt I was being disrespectful. The mediator. He felt that I could have just kept quiet, blah, 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 blah,
so that you receive cases.
Imagine.
Now I don't care who you are. You say anything bad, I'm going to speak against it. I don't care if you are not with my destiny, not with my future. So you did good.
Yeah, it's only I realized I had to do it. So life went on. Now this happened and my brother is now worried. I remember a week after, now they said we are moving in full force. Now my uncle with the aunt and their wife, they came back. Now his furniture has everything. And I remember him saying, you thought you are clever, you bought the furniture. Your furniture will be sitting outside now. My furniture is coming in. I remember he even also went to the shops that I went to buy almost the same furniture in a better version. Because obviously,
where did you get the money this time?
So, that's what happened.
So what did you do with your furniture?
The day that, God is good. God is good because the day that they decided they are coming in and I had to get my furniture out, my sisters-in-laws, they had a flat in Pretoria And now, as I was narrating the story to her, obviously she cried to her mother-in-law, and then she said, no, I've got a flat, a big flat in Sunnyside, a 2-bedroom. They can keep it and it's empty, so all her furniture would fit in and there'll be space. So we did that, luckily. She even organized the transport, you know. Yeah, no, she played a role of a mother. She's been very good to us. She's been good, yes. So, yeah, you know, lucky for us, yeah, the transport came. She organized a big truck. Our things were taken. You know, the way our uncles, they dragged us out of the home as if we were strangers, even telling us that we should never step our feet there again, even if they die, even if he dies, the last born and the aunt, we shouldn't come. Whatever happens, we must not come there, blah, 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 blah. It's no longer our home. We are no longer family. We are now strangers to them. We like empty cans of tins. All of the things they kept saying. And
but how was the emotional aspect of that? Because this is you now like getting kicked out of the only home you've ever known, you know?
It was bad.
Ne?
It was bad. I remember how I cried.
Yeah.
I remember how I cried. And guess what? The people from the neighborhood, they were there. About 50, 60 people.
Just standing.
It was like a movie, man.
Did they also believe you guys were killing people?
Apparently, how my uncle spread the news, even my peers believed that.
That you are a witch?
Some came whispering after some years to say, Pela Tina, this is the story we know. We know that, say, Pela, you are killer. Haibo. No, yeah. Which means whatever motives that they used, obviously, they made people to be against us. Because people were just folding hands. And I was shocked to see people just folding hands and not intervening. And they knew, a lot of people knew that my granddad, how much he loved us. How much he used to say that his house belongs to my elder brother. They knew. But, I mean, they were hopeless. They were helpless. They were just looking, feeling sorry for us and couldn't even say a word. But luckily we left and my brother remained, unfortunately. When my brother remained, it wasn't easy for him since after he confronted everybody, things changed for him because...
How old was your brother maybe at that time?
He was still around when I was about 22, he was about 28. Because he was struggling to find employment. The big thing was him struggling to find
to just be secure
employment.
Okay.
So at the time he thought, since they don't have much problem with me, let me remain. And he doesn't know now things have changed. They started poisoning his food. My brother was eating poison like every day. He had a running tummy for days. You know, up until there was a relative who came to visit. And then, because, you know, everyone from Lesotho has been told of how evil we are. So this one guy came to visit, and lucky for us, he came to actually... He gave himself time to actually assess the situation. To really find out the root cause of what really is happening here. Because the stories we hear, they don't match the character of the people. So when he was there, he saw the character of my brother. My brother is a very humble guy, very soft-spoken. Yeah, my brother, was now left to stay with my uncles and the wife. And things changed. It wasn't easy for him. It wasn't easy for him because sometimes I wouldn't even talk to him. And he was just surviving.
How did he... Sorry. No, it's fine. Please continue first.
Because he was actually waiting to get a proper job so he could also move. Because for him, it was just... He knew that this is just a temporal situation. I'll have to move out of this house since there's no peace. So,
How did he find out that he was getting poisoned?
All right. Lucky enough, there was a cousin who came to visit. Obviously, he came with the impression from the stories that they heard about us.
Okay.
So, lucky for him, he had to analyze the story. He had to see it for himself. So, he would actually, trap my brother to see if there was something wrong, To his surprise, he was like... But what I heard and what I'm seeing is completely different. What's happening here? And that was when he felt guilty. That was when he was like, no, I don't want to be part of this. And then he confronted my brother. The cousin confronted my brother with the truth that your food is being poisoned, because he actually begged him that please stop eating the food that you bought the groceries, stop eating your food. It's better you buy food from outside, since they had now 2 pots. They were cooking separately.
Everyone
for
was
themselves,
cooking their
and
own.
then he had to cook, you see. So the cousin was like, I'm so sorry about not telling you earlier. And you know what, you've been good to me. You know, you've been buying me cigarettes. You've been, accommodating me, basically. So, yeah, the cousin actually, he got to see the truth, that, oh, yeah, no, I understand what's going on here. Your uncles are just influenced by someone in the family, someone who's been, an enemy of the family for quite some years.
Yeah.
And he is, badly influencing them to, to hate on you guys like he hated on your moms. So stop eating.
So it means at that time when the furniture went to Sunnyside, you guys went to Sunnyside
yes,
as well?
myself and my younger sister.
Yeah.
Because at that time she was still in tertiary.
Okay.
So she would travel from Sunnyside to Joburg just to get to school. So yeah.